shrivel. And in a couple of weeks when it has shriveled, I'm going to plant it at my desired angle and height and thickness. And then when I start to water the tree, because it has suffered so much, and it has lost all of the water, now it's desperate to get more water, so it'll stock up. But now it's scared that next time this happens, this drought comes along where it doesn't get any water for a couple of weeks, he doesn't want to shrivel down again that far. So therefore, he'll add on a bunch of mass now, like 4 times the size of it now. And this is how you can achieve a desert roll really quick. Okay, here we go. So this is where the denim is going to sit now for the next couple of weeks. I tied it up to this palm frond, and it's going to swing here for the next couple of weeks until it's completely shriveled up. And still, I have not addressed any of this yet, and nor will I. So a couple of weeks now have passed since I hung this guy up from the palm tree in the shade. It has completely dried out now, and it is losing its leaves already. It is at a good point where now I can do the next step. So the bottom of it, you want to make sure that it looks like this. Do you see how dried out it is in here? It's not wet anywhere, it's not moist, it's completely dried out. And that's exactly what you want. So at this point, you can then now go ahead and pop the adenium at the other side angle, and this way you won't get any rust. And see, I didn't use any fungicide to cover up these cuts. So now at this point, I have to decide what kind of root system that I want to plant in the future. So since I'm going with a root system like that, like the snail has, I'm going to have to plant it at a specific angle. So at this point, I took a large plastic container. I have a lid with a screw at the bottom, and then I have my adenium. So I'm going to take the screw and the lid, and I'm going to attach it at the bottom of the adenium. So I'm going to screw it right in. And the reason why I do this is so that the roots now are growing out versus that they walk up like the codex that you normally would see on desert roads. This is the reason why we plant it flat. And then once I plant it on an angle, then the roots can grow into the specific direction. Here we are. So, since I want to mimic the exact same root system that the snail has, I'm going to plant it like this for the next couple of years, and then these roots will grow over the lid and then create these bulky roots here. Okay. So the first step, or the next step, is to take my all-purpose soil. So now at this point, I'm going to leave the decibels in this container at this angle for probably 1 to 2 years. Depending on how much the top grows, we're going to remove some of the soil and see how far the roots have spread. After that, I can just take it out of the pot and pot it into the next pot. Now this tree is going to be a smaller image size of the big snail, so it's not going to be the same scale. This is going to be a lot smaller. But you can do this with any size adenium and develop a really cool root system. So another way for me could have been, instead of planting it like this, to plant it like this, and then I would get roots that would spread out like that, versus going over the lid like this now. So I could have recreated this root system right here. So you see how cool that looks, how the roots go out? So I can either go this way or this way, and this is the way that I chose, where the roots of the snail. Okay. Oh, before I forget, very important. Now, since I took a screw and I put it into the, I screwed it to the bottom of the codex of the decibels, I again am not going to water for another week, so that these roots can completely dry out. Because now that I put that screw into the bottom of the codex, that opened up a fresh wound now. So I want to make sure that that dries out before I go ahead and water for the first time. And then this tree goes out in full sun, and I'm going to use my all-purpose fertilizer, the 18410 as always. And this is the all-purpose soil, so nothing has changed there. And yeah, so this cottage will now explode in growth since I allowed it to dry out this drastic now. So I will work.
Con sò.
Welcome to our episode. Today we're going to talk about adenium. We're going to talk
Tại em
about
không thích viết, người ta thích viết.
so we're going to read this back and we're going to do a little bit of identification work. And yeah, so
Cái này cũng giống như thì em thích cái em thì em thích cái này, còn bà này bà thích cái này. Mọi người thích cái. Tức là mà cái người viết thì siêng viết, còn em không viết là do em làm biếng viết, rồi lên đây bấm cực. Bấm từng chữ là cực. Ngồi trên máy tính dễ bấm hơn.
This is actually the quiet time to repot adenium. So, as you can see, this is a very unusual adenium, right? It's a semi-cascade, and I call this tree the snail. So, as you can see, it has pushed itself out of the pot, so it's definitely time to repot this pot. Okay? So the way that I go about that is, first off, I have some first off, I have a cable over here. This is the tie-down wire, which I use to tie the tree into position. So the first thing I want to do is cut this up. Make sure that I don't hurt the tree when I pull it out. Yes, it is definitely time to repot. So whenever you see the roots come out of the bottom of the pot, that means that your entire pot has a chance to do itself. fire